All
Uh,
right,
what's up, man? So how was your game?
man. It's really fun to be back on the field, but the entire
Uh,
first quarter, I don't even know what happened. I didn't officiate a thing. It's
really?
yeah, because it's got trying to get back into the flow and all of that,
Oh
and
yeah,
it just doesn't exist without practice, without like being on the field. That's the only way to really get
there
back
it
into the
is.
flow.
There it
Um,
is.
I
Yeah.
I threw a flag on the fifth play of the game, so I was
Oh
officiating
wow.
something. I will say that. Um,
Well, I'll be the judge of that. I gotta go look at that now.
but yeah, overall, man, I really I enjoyed being back out there. It was fun. Get a chance to be on the football field, work a different position that I normally work. So yeah, I
Right.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Good. UFL. What does the U stand for?
United.
Oh, of course it does. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense because he
Yeah.
united the two leagues. Yeah, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
Exactly.
Well, good man. Your crew's pretty good. It looked like,
I don't know.
except for the umpire, anyways. But I mean, I thought the crew looked pretty good, man.
Oh, good. Good. Appreciate you watching. And
Oh yeah,
the umpire was sort of like the flag bearer of umpires in spring professional football
yeah,
leagues.
yeah. Trying to set the record.
Right. I did have a significant number of hey man, but if it's a foul, I'm gonna throw my doggone flag. That's one thing
Well,
we preach here. If you see a foul, throw your flag. And
well,
doggone it, I live by that mantra.
if
If I
you,
s- you know,
I mean, if you see a foul and then process all the elements that we discuss, yes,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Well, hold on,
So
Brandon. Hold on. Time
what?
out.
Huh?
You're that's backwards. You just put the cart before the horse.
I did. You
Seeing a
caught that, huh?
foul, yeah, seeing a
Seeing a foul,
foul means that you
processing
have processed those elements. You can't see a
exactly.
foul without
Oh,
processing elements.
that's strong
There's
wordplay.
Daniel.
I like that.
It's a strong intro.
You know
Yeah,
what I love?
it
How
usually
someone
is.
just jumps into
It
a
usually
conversation
is.
as if they've been here like forever and they literally just walked into the
And
room.
then somebody else pretending they were actually on time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank
I,
you. Thank you.
I was
Thank
here
you.
at the beginning of this webinar.
You guys are unreal. You guys are unreal.
What's
Well,
the
here,
next? Go ahead. Never.
well, I'm sick of this already. So, the best thing to do is,
Watch football.
Watch film.
all right, here we go.
The
So,
SLC.
yeah, it's the Southland Conference. So we've got several things to talk about like usual. So let's pull this one up with that poll there. Welcome to those that are new. A poll pops up. You click do it later. You navigate back to the side of the screen, and then you can answer the poll. So this deep wing that we see on this player that's circled has pass interference. He has a flag down for offensive pass interference. So we're going to talk a little crew communication here and how this would play out. But of course, we have so much more to talk about on this play. But if we look at the poll after discussion, what should we do? We should A, pick up the flag because the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage. B, leave the flag down because the pass did cross the line of scrimmage. C, pick up the flag because by philosophy, standard, we should expand the neutral zone by 1 yard for touching of a pass in this situation. Or D, just leave the flag down and you know what? You know what I'm going to do? Just let replay deal with it. Is that what we should do? So we're looking at the poll. We are looking at the poll, and we are going to work a couple other items on this play. 3rd and 2 DUI. It's 3rd and 2. What are we talking about with this? The line to gain here is the 31-yard line. As this play sets up, the line to gain's the 31. We're snapped from the 29. So what's the newest, latest, and greatest standard relative to our mechanics and working this line to gain? Has that evolved at all lately or what?
I don't think that's evolved lately. I think for a while now we've wanted our line of scrimmage officials to be at the line to gain, waiting for the ball carrier in these third and fourth and short situations. I don't think that's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Ironically, I agree. I think we should. I think that's best practice. But ironically, here it would distort our view of a very crucial item.
Yep.
And that's what we're pulling about. Obviously, the pass crossing the line of scrimmage or not.
And we always, I think, are advocates for common sense officiating. Sounds too folksy and colloquially.
Yeah,
but we're advocates for not like getting locked into absolutes just because. That's a really, really good mechanic that we need to be prepared to implement. Maybe in shotgun, we've got a little flexibility to read the play and see what's going to happen. And maybe we can feel number 6 coming out of the backfield. Who knows?
Yeah.
But because like you said, in this play, it's gonna be challenging for us to officiate one aspect of it. It'll help us officiate the other aspect better. But that first aspect that we're talking about in our poll is going to be difficult if we're now moved to the line to gain.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So we're pulling on that. Let's get back to that. We have DOF, defense offside, called by the line of scrimmage official at the bottom of the screen. So I think we've got him lined up in the neutral zone, which is fine. So we're going to throw the flag there. We really talk about running an efficient game, and Tuta, check out what the referee does here. We get locked in on this initial flag, and we are just really looking towards this line of scrimmage official who threw the flag. Meanwhile, our deep wing at the top has thrown a quite impactful flag potentially, and we almost get into our announcement and then realize, we got more to talk about.
So timeout. Are we going to blame this on the referee?
I didn't say that.
That's what it sounded like you did. That's what I heard.
Only if that was you, maybe. But no, I mean, but here's the thing. We talk about running an efficient game. Yeah, we want to run an efficient game.
Yes.
And if I got this, and I pretty much know what he has if I'm the referee, right? If I catch this flag out of if I catch this flag out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, okay, I mean, he's either got an illegal formation on the offense or DOF on defense offside, line up in the neutral zone of defense. So all I have to do is understand what he has. He gives me the number. I'm going to announce it, and we're gone because I already know the result of the play. Right. If I know the result of the play, we're good.
Right.
But we don't want this. I mean, we really don't want this optic of starting to get into announcements, stopping the announcement, turning around, and then having to re-conference.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. No, correct. That's that was one of the biggest things I had to work on when I first transitioned to the referee position. I was looking like a clown so many times.
Wow.
Starting my announcement, and it's like, hold on, dude. Number one, you don't even have all the information. You don't even know what else is going on the field. So I caught myself so many times having to start and stop announcements, and it's like you said, it's very poor optics. But I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So probably going to talk about what we've talked about. If this is session 190, we probably talked about a 380 if I were to do 2x math. We need communication, right? So we need communication. Yes. We love to see our side judge and headline judge up here, or maybe it's the field judge and line judge, whatever. Deep wing and line of scrimmage at the top of the screen. We love to see that happening.
Excellent.
Right?
That's exactly. Yes. Excellent.
Yeah. And we're going to get to that with the poll, obviously, but we missed a step. I think we missed a step.
Blowing a funny whistle. We absolutely have to do that. And this one is challenging and difficult because as a deep wing, our brains are scrambled and we're thinking really hard. Oh my God, was that dude beyond? Did that pass really cross? Man, I got this flag down. It's just really a lot to think about, but we got to think about the most basic part is if we put a flag on the ground, blow a funny whistle, everybody in the entire stadium has to know that something happened and we have a problem. Hold on. So, I definitely empathize and sympathize with that deep wing.
Yeah.
But we got to blow a funny whistle. Have to do it. Which camp
Okay.
was that, Brandon? Where we were just
Oh man,
off
that
on-
was
there
Utah.
no whistle.
That was Utah year 2021.
Oh my God! It was
We just had flags everywhere and nobody knew what was going on.
nobody had any idea. Yeah,
Like I could see a flag come out and the officials didn't even know their crewmate had a flag.
right.
We got up the next day and I think that's all we talked about was,
Right.
you know, and it's just, I mean, sometimes the fundamental things are what carries our performance,
Correct.
and what gets us to be able to perform. And, you know, this is one of them.
Well, guess why, Brandon? Because the fundamental lapse in
Yeah.
mechanics here, and we don't have the audio. Maybe the dude did blow a funny whistle. Maybe the referee
Just got locked in.
Yeah, anything could have happened. So I don't want to blame the deep wing, but the fundamental lapse in crew communication that there was another flag really impacts the perception of our ability to manage the game here. So whether it was the referee who lost, lost it, or if it was the deep wing who just forgot to blow whatever. From a crew perspective, those fundamental things really impact our perception.
Perfect. All right. So let's think about our line of scrimmage mechanics, getting to the line to gain just as we would the goal line. I don't know if we need the answer on that, but let's think about that. Even though we know the result on this play where it would be actually detrimental to what we're going to talk to next. Let's think about this. This is a great play for everybody to use with their own crews in their own areas or whatever, and discuss that. Because you're going to see the result and then say, well, I don't know if I want to slide there. Well, you kind of do want to slide because I think we got to get to the line again. But we don't need the answer on that. Let's have everybody talk about that as they wish using this play. Let's go to the poll. Do you have something else on that?
Well, I was just gonna agree. Like as a habit, we need to slide. We need to get to the line of gain on 3rd and 4th and short for sure.
And you're right. What you said is like, let's read it and we can improvise off that. But I think we should have the awareness we're 3rd or 4th and 2 to go here. So treat this baby like the goal line.
Daniel, what you eating there, buddy?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
Just water.
That ain't water.
Poll results. Poll results. So 5% said leave the flag down and let replay deal with it. So they're joking, right? Maybe 2 times.
I'm not answering.
Wow, that sounded like a 2-time response.
Oh, I know. I think he's the one that probably said no. All right. So, we're not going to do that ever. Correct?
Not if we want to be the best official that we can be.
A little bit tongue in cheek. What
we may do that in this situation, not this specific
After the
situation, but this general
right?
situation.
The poll does say after discussion we should. So talk about that. At what point would we say, you know what, let's just leave it? And if replay has something different, they can.
Yeah, so that's can be a challenging distinction when you're talking about, portions of a yard from whatever 25, 30 yards away. And the discussion point is the key. So we may get up here and the line judge say, gosh, I was sliding to the line to gain. I'm really not sure. And the head line judge may come over and say, I'm way off that.
Yeah, right.
And so
it's like you've heard that before.
And so that could be a situation where we say, you know what, this is reviewable. And the only thing that we have in question is where the ball was touched in relationship to the line of scrimmage. We need to leave this down because it's that close and neither one of us know, and replay can fix it. And then, by the way, if we pick this up, replay can also fix it as long as there's announcement, which of course there would be if we're picking up the flag.
Good point.
So
the flag's down.
Yeah, if we've already got that flag down and it's really close and we don't have a distinct answer, you're kind of defaulting to letting replay do it. I know that's not what the answer choice is communicating, but it's worth mentioning.
Okay. So we're this is all within context. So let's keep going. 5% also said pick the flag up because by philosophy we should expand the neutral zone by 1 yard for touching of the pass in this situation. We know the rule. If this pass is touched at or behind the neutral zone, then the early blocking downfield becomes legal. The question here, C is asking us, should we expand the neutral zone and just use a philosophy to, I guess, why? Make it easier on
Make it
ourselves.
easy.
What's your thought on that one?
No.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah, we buried that philosophy about 3-4 years ago. We didn't even have services for it. We just dumped it in the ground. One of those boxes. We didn't buy
That was
coffee.
pretty crude, man. It was pretty
We tied
crude.
an anvil to it and tossed it overboard.
Geez, this is
Dang,
good.
I didn't want to say that, DY, but
Wow,
yeah, we kind of
I mean-
did do that. We just dumped it.
Yeah.
That philosophy is dead. We
that's
need to
right.
evaluate on the field whether that pass crossed the neutral zone or did not. And DY kind of laid it out. If we're not sure, then just leave it. But if we need to be able to evaluate that. That's our job on the field.
We're not expanding.
We're not
from
expanding
that
anything.
anymore.
Exactly.
First of all, that was poorly interpreted in the past when we quote unquote did that. That was really poorly interpreted. We've talked about that before. I don't want to talk about it again because it gets me upset.
I think we like to talk about it.
I don't like to talk about it. So we poorly interpreted it. The reason that was a thing, we're just not doing that. In this day and age of this very aspect being reviewable, for whatever reason, even though the rule I still believe is written the way it's written, we're officiating the position of the ball. Well, I need to understand: are we officiating the position of the ball on the field? Are we Are we officiating the position of the player and the ball on the field, or are we, or what? Because maybe that's what the 5% said who wanted to expand the neutral zone.
Ball touch, period.
That's it.
Yes.
So the replay standard has now morphed to the on-field standard. Why would they be different?
Yeah, that weird rule about, because there is a rule in the rule book about if a piece of the player's body
his
is
foot is at or behind, and the ball is beyond. And by rule, it hasn't crossed the neutral zone.
right.
But replay, they don't work that standard in replay.
Do not.
Why?
I can't. I can't. I have no. That's not my arena to discuss.
Like everything else, it's above your pay grade, but
Wait.
we just got to know that. I mean, we got to know that. So okay, so we
Was
are.
that an insult, by the way, Brandon?
It wasn't an insult at all. You're a high performing non-line of scrimmage official. I'll say that. So, wasn't an insult. Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways.
What is that? What are we doing?
We're moving on to the 21% who said, leave the flag down because the pass crossed the line of scrimmage. Of course, that's in direct competition with the 68% that said, pick the flag up because the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage.
Whoa.
So the 5% were a little bit out there. The 21% and the 68% are going head to head. The pass did cross. The pass did not cross. I mean, so if we're on a crew with every 2 out of 3 people are going to disagree on this call right now, right? That's what this poll kind of, I think, maybe 3 out of 4, whatever the math is, doesn't matter. We're going to have disagreement. We got to nail this. So how do we get to the right answer here for this pass crossing the line of scrimmage or not? And it's partly, I think, what we just discussed. I mean, I do think there is confusion on what standard to work off of.
Well, that's the key to getting on the same page is first getting on the same page with what the standard is and making sure we all understand exactly what it means for the pass to be touched beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just heard Tuta say it's position of the ball, period. That's what we're working. And
People may not agree with me. This might be a good time to put up our
disclaimer?
old disclaimer that we used to put
Yeah.
up. But I'm also about to peruse the old standards. Probably should have
that
done
would be
this
good.
at a time in a production meeting. But
So on this play, is this tight enough where we need to have doubt, or is this clear enough where we can work this play without doubt?
I sure have doubt on this play.
Okay. So when you have doubt, that provides the opportunity to apply an officiating standard. Even if it's not in there, what would you suggest the officiating standard be if there's doubt?
So, am I a defensive coach or offensive coach?
You're an official. I don't know if we're
if there's doubt, we would want to lean towards not having a foul.
I agree.
Meaning ruling the pass at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
Okay. So the 21% versus the 68%, I don't really know. I don't really know the right answer there. This is so tight. If you're working position of the ball, it might be
Typical
beyond.
pure officiating. Just gives us no clarity on anything. We just come here to make confusion.
But think about all the factors going into making this decision. You know, our line of scrimmage official here is still, which is great, but we actually told him to move to the line to gain because it's 3rd and short, which it would not be great. Now the pass is touched, and this is probably the receiver. You know, he's going to be in this area working, hopefully with his eyes, but this pass is touched. I mean, it's tight. I think his foot is still in the neutral zone. I'm inclined to say this pass didn't cross the neutral zone because of just where his body is.
Right.
You know, and I mean, he's upright. It's not like he's stretching or coming back or moving forward. He's kind of moving laterally. But then again, the ball gets to his right arm. I'm sorry, his left arm. Wait, let me look at that again.
Right arm.
His right arm, and then he switches it.
Downfield.
Yeah. His ball, exactly. So the ball gets to his downfield arm. So is that enough to have that ball cross that line? And maybe it's caught like at that, 29.5 yard line, which then if the long axis of the football is parallel to the big line, that's how tight these plays can be. What we do know about these types of plays is that the design is for them to be caught at the line.
At or behind.
Yeah. Yeah, great clarification. At or behind the line. So, I want to talk out of both sides of my mouth because I want that line of scrimmage official at the line to gain, but I also want to have a great angle on this because we're going to see this play a lot during the game, right? We're going to see this type of play a lot. We're going to send linemen downfield. We're going to block downfield. Then we're going to really try to get this ball as close to the line of scrimmage as we possibly can. So that we can take advantage of that blocking downfield, but it be legal. Or we just trick the officials, I guess.
Brandon, what about? See, I'm not sold that the line of scrimmage official needs to move to the line of scrimmage. I mean, the line to gain on this particular play.
I got that, and I want to understand why. I mean, I'm with you, but I'm playing the result. You're saying no, but why?
Well, the reason I'm saying it is because Daniel mentioned shotgun, and we also reading pass on this particular play. If we're reading run, absolutely no doubt whatsoever, we need to be on that line of that line.
I like that.
But
I like that.
I think we're reading pass. I think we have time to get to the line to gain and properly officiate some of those other important elements on pass plays, a la forward, backwards, behind, beyond.
Yeah,
really critical elements on particular plays, as we see here.
Now that's an insight. That I'm glad I attended this session tonight to understand.
Hey man, call me and we can set up other sessions.
I'm very surprised.
I can help you out.
I'm very surprised you're the one that offered it. I mean, usually that comes from somebody else. But no, I do think that's excellent. If we read run, let's move. If we read pass, maybe let's stay.
Well, I ain't saying stay forever too. Let's make sure we.
I agree.
That. At some point in time, you got to get to that line again. It's so look what a dude fell. Look what a dude got tackled. That's so critical.
Well, and we missed the spot. I mean, it's a double action spot. I know, but we do miss a spot. It's a double action spot, meaning when his knee's down, the ball short of the line to gain, kind of suspended in space, and then we actually kind of spotted where he lands, right? So the whole intent of this whole line to gain mechanic on 3rd and 4th and short is to nail these spots. And this is a tough spot. Ball's kind of obstructed from him, but we're just a little bit too generous here. It's tough. Really tough.
So you mentioned the ball's obstructed. I don't think that's even relevant, honestly.
You don't think so? You're just reading double action?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You know the dude is holding the ball. You know what hand he's holding it in, and you know what body part hit the ground first. So
that's the nuance that's important. You talk about spots.
Absolutely.
I mean, we spot the ball every play.
Yes.
I think everybody's kind of aware of that.
Yeah.
So that's an important nuance.
One of our I don't know what would we call, I don't know. You don't like name dropping, but I don't give a crap. Walter Anderson taught us so much.
Yeah.
He went in length in one of the sessions about spotting the ball, body posture of different people, and he said, "Get down on your kitchen floor." And this is something Walt would say. Just get on your kitchen floor and put yourself in these different positions to help you understand where the ball is relative to the body part. And is the player upright? Is the player leaning forward? Is the player leaning backwards? All of those different things. And that will help you become a better evaluator of the appropriate spot and to mark the ball. So this is one. That's why I'm saying we don't need to see the ball on this one. Other than hold on, before everybody flames me, we do need to know that the player had the ball in his possession when he hit the ground. And once we know that, then we can rewind that and go back to the initial spot when his knee first hit the ground, and what was his body posture, and where should we appropriately mark the spot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put it all together. Okay.
All right.
Let's start at the top. We got DOF lined up in the neutral zone. We got that flag out right away.
Yep.
I have been convinced through this discussion that I love this line of scrimmage official at the top reading the play. And since it appears to be more of a long developing pass, so we don't need to go immediately to the line to gain, but we want that in the back of our minds, right? Or not even in the back of our minds, like in the middle, front middle of our minds. Okay, so that'll help us. That'll enable us to get a good read on where this pass was touched relative to the line of scrimmage. Deep wing. By the way, there's no controversy on whether this is blocking downfield early before the touch of the pass, correct?
No controversy.
No controversy there. So I think it's a good flag. And we do, by the way, and obviously we have question from the deep wing official where this pass was touched. So if we have that question, we want to throw and ask. That's a question that I'm asking.
Yes.
As I end the word. Yeah. So let's throw and ask, which we do here very well, but we need a funny whistle because we don't want the referee to start that announcement first. If you want to see a confused and flustered referee, do this, right? Let's just do this. And we'll see a referee that is probably confused and flustered for the next several plays, which is what none of us want, especially if you're the referee. The double action spot, that's a tough one. But we can use this play. I mean, this is right at the line to gain. He's going to be working to get to the line to gain. He's being tackled. Knee goes down, and then boom, that body falls over the line to gain. We can mark that short with confidence. Right? You just have to study thousands of these to know that, it's tight, but he's just short. I guarantee you if we had a great shot, we would see him short. So there's so many concepts that just pop on this play, and then, as a referee, I would want to work this play the next week in our pregame meeting and just work through our communication. Do we like how this looked? Do we like our, where's the funny whistle? Where's the preliminary signal? I got the defense offside preliminary, who's getting my attention? Is there anybody else that can do anything to help facilitate this communication in a much better and organized way for us to create a much better presentation for ourselves, once we have this type of play again?
Well, and if I'm a referee, I'm going to practice all these announcements. Because initially we have
this could go a million different ways.
B. Yep. We get paged and replay says, wait a minute, that pass did not cross the neutral zone. Well, now we got to pick up the OPI. Now we only have a flag on B. We could have picked up the flag on B on the field. So we got so many different things and variations to this particular play from an announcement perspective. We can practice all day long on this one.
Oh yeah, into replay, out of replay, unbelievable. All right. Well, that play was easy.
Comments and dates, by the way, since DY
I can tell
what he
the
was
dates. So, what is a date? A dried fruit or something, or is that a natural dried fruit? What is that?
I don't know, but I buy them in the grocery store already prepared from my
Oh, you don't grow them?
Consumption. I don't grow the
Wait,
date.
what's the question?
What is a date? Is
What is
it
a
naturally dry or is it dried? You know
Why
how
are
you
we
dry
asking that?
apricots and like wet apricot? What you call it? Wet.
Whoa. I don't know what we're going to do there.
Undried
Why
apricot.
are you asking that?
I just don't know what a date is.
Brandon asked that. I don't
I don't know
know.
what a date is. I mean, I don't,
It's pretty doggone good. I'll tell you that.
what does it taste like? A blueberry or something? Or like
It's kind of sweet and pasty. At the same, the texture is kind of pasty.
Okay.
It has a little Swedish type of flavor to it.
okay. Well, let's move on. I don't.
That's probably best. You're embarrassing yourself and the rest of us.
You're gonna love the angle. You're gonna love one of the angles on this play, and then you're gonna love another angle. This is an incredible, just garden variety play. Watch this angle from the side judge view, man. Like, oh my gosh! And then does he intercept that pass? And then we've got an angle inside out. Are you serious? This is like back judge heaven. And
Oh yeah,
wing
baby.
heaven. And so this is a really interesting play. So we get, obviously we can see the side judge show the flag. We don't get a flag from the back judge. Okay. So we have a lot to talk about here. And then, I want to ask you guys, because you've worked these tight and very difficult plays. By the way, Conference USA, do you see this camera angle at the end here, like fixed on the goal line? They have
That's
a camera on every single goal line. It's incredible to watch that when that
It really is, and I don't understand why the rest of the country doesn't adopt that.
That needs to happen. I mean, that needs to happen at every level that can manage to do that. Absolutely. So here's what I want to ask you guys. I mean, we're working this as the side judge, and gosh, I'm getting my flag out. I have DPI. We can evaluate the DPI if you want. That's fine. I'm working this as a side judge. I'm getting my flag out. I kind of got to make a ruling on this catch by the defense, which would result in an interception. Now, or do I? Or should the back judge in this case be expected to help with either or both aspects, DPI and or catch, no catch for an interception? And oh, by the way, our favorite officials, the line of scrimmage. What portion of this do you have as that responsibility? So DUI, you're just chomping at the bit working this inside out from the back judge position. And is this in your wheelhouse? Is it too subtle? Is it not? What do you think?
So yeah, I mean, most of these actions downfield you could categorize as subtle. I don't, it being subtle isn't something that we can just rely on to take us out of. We need, as back judges, really to adopt a mentality of ownership, especially for this inside out view, knowing that we're working sideline to sideline. It's easy to, oh, well, that's on the sideline right in front of the deep wing, so he's going to call that. And I mean, I've fallen into that trap, when you're not sure what you see, and certainly don't want to be guessing. But what we can see here is the right hand of B24 grab the left shoulder, I believe, of A5 when the ball's in the air and pull him backwards down to the ground and gives him no opportunity to make that catch. That opens up perfectly to the back judge's view, but it is subtle. When we watch it in slow motion, it's really clear and obvious. But when you watch it in full speed, even from the back judge's view, it's subtle. And so what am I going to say about what we have to do physically to see that kind of detail and to see those subtle actions? Well, we're not breaking any ground tonight. We just want to settle in and get as still as possible. And something like that right there, something like that, we want to be able to be still because everybody's going that way. And it's really easy in live speed not to perceive the impact of it. But if I'm locked in, I'm stationary, I see that right hand, that's going to alert my antenna. That's going to communicate. Remember, you guys were having a nonsensical argument when this whole thing started about the elements present versus seeing the foul. That's one of those things. Oh, that's an element. I don't like that grab. Now we're in the air. Oh, gosh, now he's pulling him back towards the ground. The ball's in the air. So now I have a foul for DPI. So, man, this is one of those absolutely can understand how we missed this as a back judge. We've got a distractor in B6, and hopefully he's not getting in our way, obstructing our view. But this is one of those we want to go back and look at. And I'm amazed that the side judge saw that, to be honest with you.
Well, that's it, right? What did he see?
I don't know.
Did he see the odd shoulder turn? Was there like a velocity of that shoulder turn that was so unnatural that it had to be, a grab and restrict type of action?
It's a really good question. But this is one of those we want to go as a back judge and say, gosh, that's a tough get. What can I do? How can I read this play better to get stationary and see that level of detail? And I feel like, especially from this angle, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a piece of him right at the beginning that wants something. He knows something isn't right. Feels like a real quick reach, and then just I don't know.
We've all done that.
We've all done
that. Let's be real.
Oh, for sure.
We've all done that. This angle coming up into the side judge's lap is tremendous. This is so tough because it's right on top of you. We've talked about how it can get more difficult the closer it is. The closer it is to you, this can get more difficult. And there doesn't get much closer than this. We're on the move. And I mean, we make this call for DPI, which is a clear and obvious foul with that grab, like you talked about. How in the world can we now transition this fast in our mind to getting our eyes down to that foot? Am I making it more difficult than it is? It sure seems difficult to me.
Well, so yeah, the other thing is, as a back judge, we're not going to be able to help with that at all. And of course, we all know that, but we're not going to be able to support anything on that sideline. So you're on your own. Maybe not on your own.
Not on your own. So we do have the line of scrimmage official. We want the line of scrimmage official coming in, right? Coming in with a strong ruling on this. I mean, we want to make eye contact. Not that you want to be signaling right away, but we want to make eye contact and have a discussion here. Tutai, you're expecting that from your line of scrimmage official, are you not, or what?
Absolutely, especially if I
don't know
lose it. Yeah, if I was trying to think of a better way to say what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
If I just don't process that element of the play, I'm certainly expecting the line of scrimmage official to come down and we have a quick discussion. But it's interesting. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm throwing DPI, and it'll be real easy just to say, you know what? Who cares that he intercepted the pass? I got DPI. Well,
until Daniel comes in and says, "Why are you throwing that flag?"
Exactly, and you say, "Well, he grabbed the dude on the shoulder and pulled him," and Daniel says, "Absolutely not.
Nothing of the sort.
He did not grab. The dude just stumbled and fell." And now we got a problem if we didn't finish this play, and we have no idea whether this dude intercepted the pass or not.
Because I'm going to tell you what. Everybody tells us we officiate to replay now. Look at every angle of this, and the plays are always available for download out of the portal, right? So you can get it and slow it down to your heart's desire. There's one frame of video with that foot is maybe still touching the ground. What foot is it? The right foot is maybe still touching the ground right when control is achieved. And if so, that's a catch for an interception.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's indisputable. Now they might have clearer video than we have. Whatever, doesn't matter. Here's the thing: we got to have a ruling on the field.
Right.
If we end up with a flag pickup here because Daniel is going to go overrule Tutai, which
first of all, he's not going to do that.
What?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mess out him on the field.
Absolutely.
Bring his
just
information.
Like the good old days.
Just like the good old hilarious. So if indeed we get this flag picked up, we have to have a ruling on the field. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this would just be a travesty. If we didn't have a ruling on the field, replay literally can't do anything with it.
Right.
Other than re-officiate the play.
Which that's not their job.
They're not allowed to.
They're really not by rule allowed to do that.
Yeah. They must prove a ruling on the field indisputably. One way or the other, really, is what their job is. And if they can't, the ruling on the field stands. So without a ruling on the field, the whole rule collapses. The whole the whole thing, the whole instant replay, whatever that is, I'm thinking of a word that I can't think of, but the whole, I'm trying to make it a big deal.
Yeah.
Just
While you
crumbled,
stumble and embarrass yourself, Brandon, let's be honest. If we want to evaluate this from a personal officiating standpoint, if we want to be the best official we can be, if we want to be the best official in the world, because I don't know about none of y'all, but my goal is to be the best official in the world.
That's what we're working for.
Exactly. Then we got to officiate this whole play in totality. And I don't know if the side judge did. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
Whatever, right?
But if we tell ourselves and give ourselves the out, oh well, you know what, this is DPI. We're gonna pick this. The interception doesn't matter anyway. Then we're not challenging ourselves, and we're certainly not going to grow and move towards whatever our goal is of being the best that we can be.
Yeah, that's well said. That's well said. I tell you what, man, we throw a flag. It's hard. It's hard to keep going. And we just all got to get better at that. You put a flag down and what happens to your brain? You just start thinking about everything else, huh?
Everything.
And then the earlier in the play, and this isn't even early in the play.
No,
this is at the very end of the play. And then a massively important thing happens here, potentially.
Right.
We stay with DPI here. So like you said, it doesn't really matter. But this could be the offensive guy making this play too, by the way. Yeah. Right? This could easily be the offensive guy that makes this play. And now, is that a clean catch? Is that more than 15? There's a lot of those things to consider. But man, I tell you what, when we throw flags, our brain shuts down, and we've all experienced that and continue to. I do, unfortunately.
Well, some of us have to evaluate our call too after we throw the flag. I don't know if other people are guilty of that, but I got to evaluate my call before I keep moving on.
Yes, you do.
And we do have a comment here that HL gives the sweep.
Taylor's basically saying that the headline judge did evaluate and rule on the catch on the sideline by the defender.
Okay, good. I'm glad he saw that. I didn't happen to catch that, but that's outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to have that in the hopper, obviously. Cool.
Correct.
All right. Well, these have been easy plays so far. Let's do this. We've been doing a lot of this. It's March. It's not March anymore. Holy smokes! It's almost the middle of April. Where's the time?
Where you been, Brad? You all right?
I don't know. I mean, I've been traveling. Just. Man alive, just crazy. We are going to watch.
Oh, no.
No, you don't like that?
I don't want to have to rule on that. Oh,
you don't want to have to rule on that? Well,
no.
We can talk about that because I'm going to put some polls up. There's going to be a ton of polls up. Just get ready. And these polls suck, just so you guys know.
Yeah, I know.
Go
talk about some other poll writers and then,
I'll talk about some other poll writers. Well, I know what we're going to talk about what you just reacted to. Don't you worry. Okay, we see what 60 does at the end of the play, right?
Right.
So let's look at that, and we're going to enforce that. And it's like, well, this is easy. Yeah, okay, let's figure this out. So we're talking basic spot, we're talking enforcement spot.
Oh,
and I'm just going to put all these. Just put all these scenarios up right now.
Okay.
See, we're going to have 3 polls to work through. All right, and we have all these different scenarios. Obviously, this first one is that the foul for UNR by A60 is reported to the referee as a. That's not the one we wanted to start with. Everybody just relax. That's not the one.
This is embarrassing.
What's so embarrassing?
You would think we would not have.
Well, we're peaking. We're peaking. Here we go. Just calm down. All these polls look the same. So this poll says this first one that we want to work. This is what happened. A foul for UNR by A60 is reported to the referee as a dead ball foul.
Dead ball. Okay.
Dead ball foul, which it is. I mean, fine. It clearly is a dead ball foul.
Yeah.
And that's how it was reported. So great. That's a foul. Good call. Good dead ball officiating by the line of scrimmage official. Right? We're not just looking at the ball. We're not worried about a spot. I mean, this is a good job.
Yeah.
But we got to identify the basic spot and the enforcement spot. So we got to work through all these things. Now, this poll isn't as onerous as it might look, because this is really just like 3 or 4 spots and the combinations of all those, right?
Right.
Okay. So we got that one going. Now hang on. There's more.
Chill. Can we read through L selections before you start throwing more stuff at us?
No, because they're all the same.
L.
There's an L. Well, I'm not getting down that far. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna quit and just
L.
Okay, here's what you have. You don't have to read through all the selections. You just have to work the play. You just have to work the scenario, and then you identify the basic spot. You identify the enforcement spot.
Okay.
Okay, what's next? So let's open this one up.
Ooh.
I mean, how many times do you have to look at this, right? A foul foul for UNR by A60 is reported to the referee as a live ball foul that occurred after the fumble recovery.
Oh.
What are the key words? Live ball foul that occurred after the fumble recovery. Same exercise. Identify the basic spot. Identify the enforcement spot. People are rolling their eyes. Don't roll your eyes. Don't roll. Trust me. Don't roll your eyes until you go perfect.
Oh, I'm about to nail this. I'm gonna ace this.
You're
thing.
not gonna ace anything.
Hey, Brandon, this is one of these situations, where we get counseled about throwing out flags towards players and everything. This official threw his flag straight up in the air. Yeah. This is one I want to advocate, just smacking the player with the flag, because that's such a dumb foul. We should throw that flag.
The opinions of Tuta do not reflect pure Christianity. Illegal.
Right. Thank you.
That's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. It's inappropriate.
Well, what if he makes you mad? I mean, this dude would make me mad. I would be seriously angry.
Yeah. The third scenario. We're doing what ifs, so we all love it. We all love these what ifs. We just gotta open our minds. This foul for UNR by A60 is reported to the referee as a live ball foul prior to the fumble recovery.
Ooh.
So what do we have? The three polls are very, very simple. I know they're long and they're through L. Okay, whatever. But what do we have? It's very simple. Dead ball foul, live ball foul after the fumble recovery, live ball foul before the fumble recovery. This could easily happen. What could the live ball foul prior to the fumble recovery could be some type of face mask or hands to the face, whatever, right? That could easily happen. The live ball foul after the fumble recovery could be, I don't know, something like this for a UNR away from the play, whatever. And then we see what the dead ball foul is, which is what's going to happen here. This is what actually happens. But let's enforce them all in the scenarios we've given. Now, you reacted to the hit on the quarterback. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What do you see? Why did you react like that?
You're nervous.
I'm still on letter H of the first poll, so I'm not ready to answer that
Don't
question.
talk about that. This is the fourth poll. The fourth poll question is coming. No.
Yeah. First of all, the dude is going away from me, so I'm not going to have a lot of clarity, and he's kind of far away. I'm not going to have a lot of clarity on what actually happened. I'm just really not comfortable there. The other thing that's bothering me, the ball came loose, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, it's obviously a fumble." Yeah,
obviously
okay, great. It's obviously a fumble. Great. Until you get out there and have to evaluate pass and fumble. I think in this one, I would be comfortable enough that ruling this a fumble.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good.
There's a possibility when that hand could be moving and we just can't see it. But it's just, that's really my consternation on this play is we just really can't see what happens to the quarterback, the ball, and everything else.
Right.
And I really like to make evaluations when I actually see stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you had this play yet in your vast referee career, which is getting vaster, I guess, by the season now?
I know it is.
Getting older. Anyways, have you had this play where the ball's out behind the line with the quarterback in the pocket and you have no idea how the ball came out? Have
Absolutely.
you had that play yet? Okay. I didn't know if you had that play yet. That's the most uncomfortable feeling on the field.
Absolutely.
Nobody's standing around the quarterback and the ball's on the ground. What?
Well, I'll make it worse. I had a situation last year. In fact, I don't remember if we covered that on here. We may have, we may not have. This was 2 seconds left in the first half. The ball was downfield bouncing around, and then people are picking it up and running around. The defense ended up with the ball, and ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense. I had no idea what happened to the ball. No idea.
It's uncomfortable, man.
It's totally uncomfortable.
Well, we don't just have one job on every play.
No, we don't.
And I mean, we have to constantly transition. And sometimes there's no reason to transition to something that is impactful to the play that happens, unfortunately. Now that's rare, but sometimes that's the case. What about the so this has been popular lately, these body weight landing with your body weight on the quarterback. What do you got here? You see that?
Oh, let me look at that again. But so yeah, and we talked about that before. On this particular one, I don't like. So let me draw a parallel between how we could evaluate things similarly at different levels. The NFL does have body weight as a category, correct, of RPS.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't. The NCAA, we don't have body weight as a category
explicitly.
Explicitly, but implicitly, what we do have is a defender driving the quarterback into the ground, which is similar to body weight. And on this particular play, I don't see the defender driving the quarterback into the ground, more so as knocking the quarterback to the ground and somewhat ending up landing on him. What I would like to see to have something synonymous with body weight would be the defender grabbing the quarterback, wrapping the quarterback, squeezing the quarterback to him, and flipping his hips, so to speak, and driving all of his weight down with the quarterback locked into his grasp. And I'm not sure if I'm defining that or describing that accurately enough for folks to understand and see it. But that's not what I see on this particular play.
No, it's a good description. And here's the thing on this play. The defender mitigates all this by really dropping his knees to the ground.
Yeah.
There's certainly some body weight that lands with force, but and we're not trying to confuse rules here at all. This clearly is not a foul for roughing the passer. Just clearly. Certainly not a foul for roughing the passer, but the really good technique this defender displays is the ability to mitigate some of the force by getting the knees to the ground first. You following me?
Yeah, and I think one thing we can see too is when he first wrapped the quarterback up, he took maybe 2 steps after wrapping the quarterback as he was pushing him towards the ground versus wrapping him and immediately sort of launching himself into the air with the quarterback and then falling down onto the quarterback on the ground after his launch. I don't know if that kind of makes sense.
I guess I would offer that, the longer he keeps his arms wrapped, sometimes it's the higher the probability that something like that is going to happen, because now he's going to almost leverage, new momentum and then boom, drive him into the ground. So, I mean, if we just want to see some mitigation effort by the defender to avoid punishing the quarterback.
Yes.
And that's really what the rule asks, period, end of sentence. And we see enough, in my opinion, here, even though there's certainly an element of driving to the ground. Okay, real quick before the poll, look at that's another talking point on this play. I mean, these plays are just so full of so many concepts. What about the potential for a blindside block by A21? You see that peeling back there?
Yeah, it's actually B21. It's actually B21.
Oh, B21.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll DY. What do you see there?
I only just saw that the very last one.
Okay. You were finishing up your
What
dinner?
kind of answer is that?
I don't know. I think he was finishing up his dinner.
Yeah.
No, I just
it's on the line feed too.
I mean, it looks like 21 uses his hands.
That's it. There. Pure officiating, folks. I use his hands.
Can't get this stuff anywhere. No. Well, so he definitely attacks him from outside the vision. Is it forced?
Verified. I don't like it as a foul for an illegal blindside block. Uses his hands in that he pushes him down. Is that better for you?
Is this guy let up on the play? Like, what is this guy doing? Like, why don't you go? Is this what is this? I don't really know what's going on here. Should this guy be expected to be blocked? He is now on defense.
Well, he didn't like getting knocked to the ground. I can tell you that.
I saw that.
His feelings were hurt for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. 21's teammate has the ball right by there, so I don't know. I kind of don't like it as much of anything.
I mean, there's certainly the potential for blindside block there. It's outside the field of vision. He could block him in such a way that rose to the level of an illegal blindside block. And maybe some think that that does. I don't know. Two-Time may think so. But to me, I see 21 use his hands to push him down instead of just really accelerate and explode through him.
Okay. Well, that was.
What do you think,
Really
Two-Time?
You ever heard the term sneak diss, Daniel? Like when somebody sneak all this sneak diss.
I don't know what that means.
DISS.
Okay.
It's colloquialism for like disrespecting, like insulting almost. Like you and Brandon like to do all these sneak dissing on me, I don't really appreciate it.
I mean, I know what it means to diss
Oh,
someone.
man, I love
I don't
that.
think anybody says that anymore.
Okay,
love
sneak
that.
diss.
And
Okay, go look it up in your-
diss, I feel like
I'm
might
gonna
be
start using that.
Yeah.
My kids bring home all kinds of stuff like that I use constantly, and they think it's great. They just think I'm the
Use
coolest. Oh, dude, they
Give us
think
an
I'm the
example.
coolest person when I do
So
that.
I'm gonna say this. I think this is really, it's closer to an illegal blindside block than it is further away from an illegal blindside block. The
Okay.
contact is really forceful. I know he uses hands, but if we would ever say that using hands is not an automatic qualifier that says it's not an illegal blindside block, this would be a play where we would, I think, be able to say, you know what, this is some pretty forcible contact, clearly outside the field of vision of this player who's being
Clearly,
blocked. And if someone wanted to say that this was an illegal blindside block, I would not totally disagree, to be perfectly honest, because the impact on the player is similar to if this dude just used the shoulder. The impact is almost the same. Look, he went flying and flipping over. That's really what the intent of the rule is, right? To avoid those type of high impact collisions that send players to the ground
when they can't protect themselves.
unnaturally. When they
That's
can't
not a
protect
high impact collision. He goes to the ground and collides with the ground the same way. That's not what the rule is intended to prevent. It's not intended to prevent him going to the ground. It's intended to prevent him from getting earholed.
Well, some would argue that he did get earholed.
Well, they would argue incorrectly.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't. I'm with Daniel. I don't
Yeah,
think-
he pushes
I'm not saying it's a. I don't think it's a foul, but I think this is way closer to a foul than
Then we're making it out.
Yeah, I don't think we should just disregard it as that's not a foul.
It's not a foul.
We got DJ fired up about this sneak diss. So,
See, DJ knows what I'm talking about.
oh, dude, I'm gonna start using it now. Okay, so let's get into the rules and enforce these scenarios.
Shit. Did
I'm sure everybody
all
loves
this time
to
did
do
people finish the polls yet?
You don't have to finish the poll. You just have to. You just have to. You just have to work the scenario.
Oh,
Like,
ever
I
want to
think
hear somebody
I've
talk about a poll writer ever again? I swear.
This is just math, there's look, I could have made this longer because I didn't even make spot of the foul a basic spot. Thank you very much, because I've been going off on that because we keep saying the spot of the foul is never a basic spot.
Never.
And that's why it's not even in the poll. It didn't even make the poll this week, man.
It should have been in the poll. That should have been W.
Well, it should have been W. I don't like that comment by you. Okay, here we go. Let's get to work. We're gonna work the dead ball foul first.
Yes.
That's what actually happened.
Yes.
Okay. This one's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
It is.
But is it? Because look, 47% said 1 succeeding spot, 2 succeeding spot, meaning basic spot's the succeeding spot, enforcement spot's the succeeding spot. That's 47%. 18% said end of the run.
Oh no.
And then 18% also said end of the run, succeeding spot.
Oh no.
And then 6% said succeeding spot, end of the run.
Oh boy.
People are so mad. They're all the same spot.
They are, but they're not.
That's not the rule, right?
From an
So
academic standpoint, they're not, and we have to understand that.
we're going to annoy people with this. We don't apologize for trying to hold ourselves to these standards, though, right?
Well,
we apologize to Brandon. And
No, but okay, we don't apologize for holding ourselves to that standard. But what you really mean, what you've always meant, is you don't apologize for annoying people.
I don't apologize for annoying people. I'm good with that. Okay, here's the thing. All these answers are basically saying the same thing. The end of the run is the succeeding spot.
Yes,
But there's more than one run in this play. So just think about that. Now I know what you mean. I know.
Well, not only that, Brandon, let's think about it like this. When the play is over, there is no run.
right.
There is no run.
There is no such thing as a run.
Foul.
We're
This is
in
a dead ball foul.
There's literally no run.
Yeah. So dead ball foul, succeeding spot. It's just the easiest thing ever when we get these things down from the rule book, right? So dead ball foul, succeeding spot. The basic spot is a succeeding spot, and obviously then the enforcement spot is a succeeding spot. Why is that obvious? I don't know, because you can't. We're not in 3-1 at that point, right? 3-1 applies to live ball fouls only. That enforcement principle that applies to live ball fouls only. We're going to do that next. This is a dead ball foul. Dead ball foul, basic spot, succeeding spot.
Yes.
Which is now the enforcement spot.
Yeah.
Because it's just the same thing.
I just came up with something.
What did you come up with?
We would say why end of the run would be why I could prove that end of the run would be incorrect to call this dead ball foul the basic spot or the enforcement spot. If we have a flag down on B21 for illegal blindside block, guess what we would have to do? Enforce that the penalty for that foul. And enforce the foul on number 60, and clearly that would not be the end of the run. Well,
that's a great point. So that would be the succeeding spot, and the succeeding spot can change based on whatever else happens.
Exactly, and that's why we cannot say end of the run.
That's right. Yes. Very good.
I'm here all week, by the way. I'm here all week.
I think I'm going to give you your second gold star, but I'm not sure.
I didn't ask for your gold stars, and I'm not going to tell you what I'll do with that gold star if you give it to me. I'm just...
Similar to that script that I gave you last week that you're talking. Never mind. We don't need to talk. We don't need to go through that again. Something about bathroom habits that really just was disgusting. So, anyways, the succeeding spot. Not only just because that's what the rule says, but that's a great example. If we end up with a foul on B21 there for that blindside block, we still have to say it's succeeding spot.
That's right.
And every time a foul happens, we have to get these correct. The basic spot and the enforcement spot. And those don't change. Now, the succeeding spot can change because of a live ball foul that changes it.
Yes.
But we have to know that it's a succeeding spot. I know this is semantical. We know what you meant.
It's not.
No, but you know what they meant by end of the run with the 11 or the L numbered poll results. Okay, we know what they meant.
I guarantee Daniel got this one wrong. I guarantee it.
Incorrect. Because here's why. So yeah, I mean, Tuta's super technical response is great. That's fine.
I like it.
We miss questions about enforcement all the time on here, and so part of the reason
we miss them on the field too, by the way.
That's true. Part of the reason I think it's important is because if this concept is confusing for us, I think it's important we understand the vocabulary and how they apply to what we're doing. And so like that Brandon's annoyingness, which is a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
There's value in it, in that we need to be able to understand what these terms mean and how they apply, and not just lazily say, oh, well, it's the end of the run. Oh yeah, no, I know what you meant. Well, okay. But we need to understand that the succeeding spot is an enforcement spot.
You know what's funny about this whole conversation? I swear if I ever hear another referee say the penalty's enforced from the succeeding spot, I swear I'm going to pull a Teuton and come through the screen and
you got to break the TV
or something. Or
because nobody needs to hear that. The general public does not need to hear succeeding spot.
That's what's funny about it.
It's not even a thing. Like, just stop.
And if I mean, I don't think we need the enforcement spot as part of the announcement here. You could say from the end of the play. Okay, let's go on. Live ball foul. Okay, now we're reporting to the referee a live ball foul that occurred after the fumble recovery.
Live ball after the fumble.
Okay, live ball. Let's identify the basic spot. So who's the foul on? The team in possession or the team not in possession?
Not in possession.
This is the team not in possession. They started in possession, but if this foul is reported as a live ball foul that occurred after the fumble recovery, then we know that this is the team not in possession, right? The team in white has the ball.
Correct.
The team in blue, number 60, is the dude that committed the foul. So he's not in possession. Okay, so the basic spot is a foul simply what? During a run.
During the run.
During a run. This is a new running play.
That's B3's running play. Correct.
This is B3's running play. I would write that down as part of your test taking process if you need to, right?
What?
I mean,
We already got L choices. Now we got to write stuff too.
No,
this is ridiculous.
I'm not.
I'm just a football official, man.
I'm detaching.
Barely.
I'm detaching. Yeah, obviously, I'm detaching your admonishment of the poll. I'm detaching that from a proper way to, take a quiz. Okay. So, anyways, write that down. This is a foul during B3's run by A60.
Correct.
That says everything you need to know. Basic spot is the end of the run.
Every single running play, the basic spot is the end of the run. Every single one of them in the history of the world. You'll never find a running play. Yes.
Yeah. And of course, if the running play ends behind the neutral zone, we have all that. This doesn't have a neutral zone. This is after a change of possession. So this is a basic spot is during, it's during a running play. It's the end of the run. So just looking through, I think we pretty much nailed that. We still have a couple succeeding spots here. We do have a previous spot,
Yikes.
So the key here for the basic spot is that this is a foul during a run.
Yikes.
Foul during a run. End of the run.
On a run
by the team not
neutral zone.
Correct. And it's a foul by the team not in possession. The basic spot is the end of the run. That the fact that it's a foul by the team not in possession, the enforcement spot informs us. We applied the 3-and-1 principle. The enforcement spot is the basic spot. So we're going to go from the end of this run and simply go 15 yards, forward in terms of the way the white team is moving on the field. You good with that?
Yep.
So 38% of us said end of run, and then we had a bunch of other things happening. And we know that the 25% of us that said end of run succeeding spot, you were probably kind of thinking that same thing, but we talked about this already. So succeeding spot can never be an enforcement spot of a live ball foul. Let me make sure I'm saying that right.
Unless there's a live ball treated as a dead ball. I'm trying to think.
Or a non-player commits a foul during the play.
Correct.
So this is a player. He's actively participating. This, the question was very clear. It was reported as a live ball foul that occurred after the fumble recovery. Live ball foul, meaning wasn't a dead ball foul. Basic spot, end of the run. Yeah. Enforcement spot, end of the run. It's by the team not in possession.
Yeah.
So let's get the 3-and-1 principle nailed cold to be able to do this. Now let's move on to the last scenario. Finally, there still was L numbered poll responses available to you, Ty. If you're still working, maybe you need some scratch paper.
I'm on number 2 right now. I'm glad you gave me the answer.
You remember the whole thing using scratch paper? It's not a bad way to do a test either.
Hey, in our concrete class, when we took concrete, we had to turn in our scratch paper.
You took concrete?
Absolutely. I'm a civil
What is
engineer.
that?
My design, my degree, I'm a civil engineer. Yeah, we took steel, we took concrete. Well, I'm not. I'm an Outlook engineer, but I do have a degree in civil engineering.
Is that a funny office thing for you in email all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that one.
Okay.
That's pretty dorky.
Okay.
Third scenario, foul. This foul for UNR is now reported to the referee as a live ball foul prior to the fumble recovery. All right.
Yeah.
Prior to the fumble recovery. So
if somebody does that, you know what I'm gonna tell them? Nah, dude. Come on, get out of here. That's not what we're doing here.
Pull his face mask, man. I just lost track of the ball. I don't know what happened. Okay. If it's reported to the referee as prior to the fumble recovery and it's a live ball, it's a foul during a run.
Yep.
It's a foul during a run.
Yep.
So the basic spot is, how do we do this? Is the basic spot the end of the run of the previous spot? Because we're all over the place in this poll results, man.
I know.
So how do we do it? Do we say the basic spot's the end of the run, or do we say the basic spot's the previous spot?
When did the foul occur?
It occurred during a run.
Okay. During a run.
The run ended behind the neutral zone.
Oh, this is a Danielism, because I'm gonna be honest. I always forget if that's an exception or if that's actually the basic spot. I get confused on that one. I'll be honest.
I stay.
So
I,
you're saying the run ends be behind the neutral
the
zone?
run it, yeah, the guy fumbled
Yeah,
the
by
ball behind the
A16, A16's
okay.
run.
Yeah.
because
So
this
that's
is a
the
live ball
previous
foul.
spot.
Well, that's the enforcement spot.
That's the basic spot.
That's the basic spot.
Running plays when it ends behind the neutral zone is a previous spot, right?
The basic spot is the pre. See, this is
Look at
this is
I think brains
is
have
what
been
I
hurt by all
always-
of these options, and people are just like really
Yes.
just tired.
Yes. Basic
Okay.
spot on a run that ends behind the neutral zone is a previous spot.
Are you reading that?
Yeah. Previous spot when the related run ends behind the neutral zone.
Okay, I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Well, I'm
See,
glad.
I've never thought about it that way. I've always thought the basic spot should be sacred. So in other
Me
words,
too.
the basic spot here
Sure.
should be the end of the run. This is how I think about it. And then I know, okay, where did the run end? Behind. Okay, so now the enforcement spot is the previous.
No,
spot.
that's why, like, we've talked about this there's no, like, because we've talked about beanbag placement on a backwards pass behind the line of scrimmage or a fumble behind the line of scrimmage. You're really not doing anything with
we
that
don't need
spot.
much there. Yeah.
You know, you're just communicating that we have a loose ball, but
Yeah.
the basic spot is going to be the previous spot.
Okay, so you're saying basic spot is the previous spot, and obviously the
Sacred, if that, is a part of your just
the enforcement spot is
religious preference.
I just want to make sure that this is a foul during a run. So not all, correct me if I'm wrong, not all fouls follow your method of thinking, if I'm not mistaken.
Whose method?
Yours.
Okay. I don't know. What
Like
method.
illegal bats and illegal kicks.
What about them?
If the spot of that foul is behind the neutral zone.
Keep going.
Oh, that's what you're trying to teach us. That's what you're trying to teach us, Daniel Young. I like it. Okay, so the run-ins. Let's finalize.
The foul is behind the basic spot. We're enforcing it.
You just apply 3 and 1.
Yeah, it's part of the foul.
I love.
But the
doing
basic
this.
spot is the basic spot. And I think you're one of those people who like preach
No.
that, Brandon.
Nope. Daniel's right, and I
What
love
do you
getting.
mean? Daniel's right. Of course,
Daniel's
Daniel's right,
absolutely
but I'm
right.
telling you, he's right by he literally told you what the basic spot is for a run that ends behind the neutral zone.
Right, it's the previous spot.
Yeah.
Previous spot.
So
Yep.
I don't. You start going off
I
on
know.
whatever tangent you were going
I
off
know.
on, but the
I know.
basic spot is the basic spot.
No, I
by
proved it.
definition.
I proved it. I went reverse
Oh, okay.
psychology on you. I proved it. I proved Daniel was right. He didn't even know I proved he was right. I love doing it. Let's just recap it. Run-ins behind the neutral zone, basic spot, previous spot. Right.
Yes.
So now we have a
Yes.
UNR. We have a UNR report to the referee by the team in possession, because the rule question tells you that it's a live ball foul prior to the fumble recovery. Where's the spot of that foul? Well, it's behind the neutral zone, but it's a UNR. So we know that rule kicks in that says just enforce it from the previous spot. So in this case, the answer to this one is previous spot. And everybody's like, are you kidding me? 20% had
I
previous spot.
think everybody's
previous spot.
sleeping. To be honest, I just
That's
walked
fine.
away from this
That's fine. Well, there's no wonder we get these.
broadcast.
There's no wonder we get these wrong still.
So 20% of us got this right.
20% said previous spot. So
I will be honest. I'm not part of the 20%.
good. You got better. I knew you'd get better on this.
Yeah, but this one just I always, because I'm always thinking that when the run ends behind the neutral zone, it's an exception to the basic spot, but that the basic spot is still the end of the run. I did just learn that no, the basic spot is actually the previous spot.
I love it.
It's not an exception.
You got to struggle through it. You got to struggle through it to understand it.
Productive struggle.
I know nobody agrees with me, but I feel that way, and I'm talking. So,
Wait, imagine that,
Yeah,
Brandon Stark.
that's a principle we're using in education now. Yeah, productive struggle. It's important.
Productive struggle, dude. That's good
So
stuff.
if I Google that, I'm gonna find like all kind of crap on it. DY.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, for like education, for teaching and learning.
Okay.
Like for accelerated learning, that just there's no way you can do that without productive struggle.
What's accelerated learning?
Like when you're in, when you're in the zone, you have to have productive struggle before you can achieve a state of being in the zone. You have to.
You
have
know
to.
what the zone is, Brandon. Like,
Dude,
stop.
I live in the zone.
Oh, listen to this. This is fantastic.
I live
It's
in the zone.
developing strong habits of mind, such as perseverance and thinking flexibility, instead of simply
okay. I was
seeking
going a different way. That's more like grit and stuff like that. But that's fine. I like that.
You didn't let Daniel finish.
You didn't let me finish,
Oh, I didn't?
which was rude and annoying.
And you missed the point. You missed the meat of the whole statement.
Instead of simply seeking the correct answer.
Oh.
It
Yes.
sounds like
now-
productive struggle is process oriented, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
totally is. It totally is.
Interesting.
All right. Here we go. Why not? Let's do this. Right here. You ever done a targeting evaluation before?
I am. What a
Oh.
Let's go. I don't know. Is this one close to last week? Maybe not. There's the funny thing about these is, so the poll's up and we're doing the 3 elements and we'll talk about them. But the funny thing about these is, however similar they may look, gosh, they're so nuanced, right? I mean, they're so nuanced. So we know how important targeting is to the game right now, just with everything. And I don't know. What are the latest stats? We do like 1 out in every 6 games has targeting.
Not a lot.
7. Yeah, I mean
it's not a lot.
it's going away.
It's going away.
Hey, did we agree that we could hit number 60 with the flag on that last play?
No, we didn't. We agree. We decidedly agreed that you should not hit him with the flag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are evaluating the targeting elements, and of course, we do describe these every now and then. I know we just kind of let the poll go and just expect everybody to fall in line, but whatever. The first element is, do we have the player receiving the hit as defenseless? That's a yes, no. The second element is, does the player delivering the hit display an indicator of targeting? All right, that's a yes, no. And then, of course, we're talking about the forcefulness of that hit. Whether we're talking about to the head neck when those rules apply, usually of a defenseless player, or delivered with the crown. So, it's a fun one. I don't have any cute little sidebars on this play. I don't know. It's just a crossing pattern.
Who's this? Liberty versus who?
New Mexico State.
Ah.
This stadium was like sold out. I mean, this was like an early season, cool kind of under the radar big game. You know what I mean?
Didn't Liberty get the Group of 5 invitation to the New Year's 6 bowl game?
Yeah, they played Oregon.
Yeah, remember you were lobbying hard for Liberty, and then Oregon sent their B team and murdered Liberty. Is that correct? Is that
what do you mean? I was lobbying? I don't lobby for teams.
Their B team. That's not cool.
I think they came down and visited me, and they were in Glendale. So I mean, they were in the Cardinals stadium, so they were visiting me. So maybe I was lobbying for them there.
No, you were so in love and enamored.
I do love Liberty. I just love I love watching their games.
Yeah, well, great. They don't belong playing
Easy
Power
now.
5 schools.
Give
They
me
just
a
don't.
break.
I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Any views do not express those appear officiating here. It's LLC members.
You know what they took out of that Oregon game?
What did they take?
A beating.
Exactly.
A lot of money. Yeah.
A lot of money.
I don't think they're turning that check back to the Fiesta Bowl payout. I'm thinking they'll probably stick with that. I don't know.
I like this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it rises to the level of last week's, quite frankly. But
that was unique.
That was just amazing. That might have been a Liberty play too. I don't remember. No, that was an FCS game. All right. Well, You know what's funny about these, which we talk about a lot? We get one chance in real time to do this, right? And of course, we've seen about 50 replays by now.
So I asked the pure officiating research staff to do some quick research for me. 45-6 was the score in the Fiesta Bowl.
We all know that.
With the Oregon JV team versus.
Well, why? So you're thinking Liberty brought their, like, nobody opted out from Liberty, is what you're saying.
If I had to guess, I would say Liberty was fairly well stocked for the game.
You think why? Because they're motivated to play.
Yes, and to prove something and to show that they belong, and they were quickly and summarily dismissed.
Well, it's the Fiesta Bowl. Like I said, that little, my guess is they gave them their bank account number with the routing number. You know, that little ACH direct deposit form you fill out, and they said, "Here you go, Mr. Fiesta Bowl chairman. Make sure that whatever millions of dollars gets deposited right into this account right here, and we'll be on that field." And I don't think they really care. I think they got a nice program, man. Can't you just give them credit for having a nice program?
I didn't say they don't have a nice program, but that doesn't have anything to do with whether they deserve to be in the New Bowl or not.
Oh my gosh! All right, this is
nice, cute program. Thanks, Liberty.
Oh, cute program. Now let's go element by element. Close the poll. So we're talking defenseless now. Okay, so we do actually have 94% of us saying that he is not a defenseless player. Any heartburn there?
I like it.
I do too. I think he clearly demonstrated, number one, that he completed the catch, which I know everybody relax, everybody calm down. That's not necessarily an evaluative element of a defenseless player. But this dude clearly caught the ball, turned into a runner, and started being aware of his surroundings before the contact by gentleman number 24.
Do you remember the play from last week? Would you see the difference here?
I do. I see a big difference. From a time perspective, I see a big difference.
Yeah. Now I think we arrived at the fact that last week we had the player is not defenseless either, but man, I think this is a whole lot different.
I do too.
And I'm still uneasy about that.
Really? Yeah. You're on the fence whether he's defenseless?
Oh, absolutly. I was on the fence, man.
Oh.
I was on the fence about last week's play.
We ain't talking about last. Why are you living in the past, man? We're here today.
Well, because
here, right now.
Oh, this player is not defenseless.
Okay.
Not at all.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he even is able to turn his shoulder into the guy. I mean,
exactly. All right. Move on. Element 2.
Let's go indicator.
Let's go, man.
Okay.
So can I admit that I backed myself into this?
Yeah. You can always admit that. You did what everybody else does.
I had to back myself into some of this stuff, to be honest, on this particular play.
All right. We're at 2/3, 1/3 split. 2/3 said yes, indicator. 1/3 said no, indicator.
Right.
This is a good one.
I'm going to throw myself on mute and listen.
Hey, DY, remember we talked about absorbing versus delivering contact?
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought about.
Right. 24 is not moving in any way, shape, or form. Remember last week, that dude exploded forward. He stopped his feet, but then he exploded through the contact with the receiver. On this play, this dude stopped his feet, and he did not explode through the contact with the receiver.
Correct.
But
his
technique is so poor with his head.
Okay.
All right, D-Wise, but I know that sounds like.
You know what he's doing right now? He's contacting that research staff that you said that you just, and they said, can you just put these guys on mute so that I can talk?
Right,
they don't. I just need the floor.
I know what that OK stands for. All right, D-Wise, go ahead.
Everybody is thinking the exact same thing. Right. Everybody is worried. 24's technique is hot doo-doo on fire and dumpster. It's horrible. He ducks his head and puts himself at risk to be paralyzed for life.
Right. I'm surprised he's not.
But
did he attack the dude?
remember, yes, that the indicator is not ducking your head like an idiot right before you get smashed. The indicator is ducking your head prior to attacking with your helmet
Wow.
and initiating forcible contact. So 24 ducks his head. And so that's step one. Ooh, I don't like that. That doesn't look good at all. But now what? What does he do after that? Does he attack with it to the degree, what does Brandon always says, that it rises to the level of targeting?
Yeah.
Or does he just duck his head and then get run into by a receiver who's running full speed? So for me, I had this as not an indicator, even though he exhibits horrible technique. That's
See, I'm sorry, I don't 100% agree with you. I 99.9% agree with you, but the 0.1% of me said this dude's technique is so bad. The rules makers do not want this in the game. They want us to protect the defenders as well as
from themselves.
Yes. So I backed into an indicator, even though I don't see an indicator, and I'm going to admit that. And
I voted as soon as this play came up, and I had an indicator too. And then I watched it again, and I went, "Oh gosh."
Yes, obviously. I mean, he's not attacking the dude. I get it.
You and the poll results.
Yeah.
But DY, are you supportive of me backing into this as an indicator
to make it targeting?
Yes.
No.
What?
Why?
Because of what he just said.
What is?
But isn't the rule designed to protect these players who are delivering these blows from themselves and their exhibitions of horrible technique? This dude should be, by all intents and purposes, should be at where's Liberty in whatever
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Lynchburg. He should be in Lynchburg General Hospital.
Now you're admitting patients to the hospital. I didn't know.
24.
I didn't know you have the.
He almost died on this play. He literally almost died from a broken neck.
I agree, dude. He's lucky, man.
He should be gone. I'm sorry. Go think about this.
This isn't a foul
for the rest of the game.
But I mean, it's not an indicator. It's not an indicator, and therefore it's not a foul because we don't have a defenseless player, and we don't have an indicator.
God,
so,
dog it.
So it's not a foul. Now
y'all don't support me backing into making this an indicator.
I don't know.
All right.
No, the force.
I don't see it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see an indicator.
No,
but God, dang, man,
he just sits there and absorbs it. What is he doing?
I don't know. He's trying to hurt himself.
He literally risked his whole life ahead of him, didn't he?
That's horrible.
So this should be technique, right? This is the technique tape, but this is not a foul by the way the rule is written because there's no attack.
Right.
There's no attack.
Right.
I mean, there ends up being quite a bit of force.
Oh, significant force.
I mean, there's force.
Yeah, we didn't even get to element 3 yet. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, throw that one away if you are. I don't know. I don't know if you can have an indicator here. I just don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
Is stupidity an indicator? Because that
they might want to add that.
Well, he's okay. The guy's paralyzed. He'll never move again. We don't have to call him stupid.
He's lucky.
He's very lucky. God.
This would be forcible enough for targeting.
Oh my God! Yes. Significant.
If he attacked with the crime,
just a little bit of just a little something,
just a little something.
I mean, he put his crown right in 21's neck.
Oh,
looks horrible.
It's unfortunate. Okay. All right. Well, you know what you got to do now. So now we've arrived at that. At least us three have. Well, 2.5 of us have.
Yeah.
2.9. I think you've still got that 0.1 out there.
I do.
All right. So we got a flag down now. You evaluate this the way we just did, and then in real time you're able to discern 24. Yeah, man, he ducked his head. He didn't attack him at all. He just kind of caught him. How are we going to have that conversation on the field? Where are you going to start?
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Back judge, let's just say back judge throws no brainer. That's targeting.
Mm-hmm. Crown of the helmet. Crown of the helmet. Crown of the helmet. Probably on the 020, Daniel. Crown of the helmet. Crown of the helmet. Please just.
Side judge comes in and says, "Well, we got to talk about this. So what do you have?" Oh, dude, he ducked his helmet and he ducked his chin all the way down to his ball sack and used the crown of his helmet.
Dang. This is a family program.
Sorry.
Well, not anymore.
Ducked his head a lot.
Yeah.
and then
Quite
use the crown of his
significantly
helmet to
ducked
hit
the
this
head.
receiver. And then you're going to have to say, okay, he used the crown of the helmet.
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't see any attacking. Did you? Maybe that's not the best way to say that, but there's
What
no attacking. I saw him duck the head of the. I saw him duck his helmet.
Yeah.
I saw that crown exposed at contact. I just didn't see him do anything other than receive a hit from the receiver.
Yeah. He absorbed
Yeah, but man, he used the crown of his helmet. Like I'm like too tight. That his technique was horrible. He used the crown of his helmet.
Yeah.
How you gonna talk me on that?
So I mean, or would you be okay with somebody coming in saying, "Hey, man, look, yes, crown of the helmet for sure, but he just stood there and absorbed him. He didn't attack him at all. I don't have an indicator. I don't have targeting."
I like your way better, Brandon.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of up to you as the calling official.
I know. I would. Ooh.
That'd be hard to come off of once you threw it.
Oh my God.
This one would be hard to come off of. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay. Our friends in the replay booth. And again, I'm a little bit fuzzy on how this process is based on last week's play, honestly. But anyways, they've got to confirm all three elements, is what we're saying.
Absolutely.
Okay, non-defenseless.
They actually this is one play that is being re-initiated by the replay officials.
Okay, so they've got to be, and now look, they've got to be 100% that it is an indicator to uphold or put on a targeting.
Yeah, I don't know if the elements have been broken down to that degree by the replay, national replay, whatever coordinator, or by the individual conference coordinators.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that degree of specificity relative to each individual element, if that has been discussed.
They just say you got to confirm all three elements.
Correct.
You kind of leave it at that, and then everybody can just do what they want with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, man, I tell you what, it's interesting. I still think, and I don't know. Do you feel like it's harder as a replay official if there's a flag down to pick this one up versus, you're looking at this, let's say nothing was called on the field. You're looking at this and you're like, clearly no indicator. I'm just staying.
Right.
Do you think there's a little bit of confirmation bias at play? Or you feel like we're in a pretty good spot with that process?
On a play like this where...
Yeah, put a flag down. As a replay official.
Right. On a play like this where the difference between an indicator and not an indicator is really razor thin and based upon like significant detailed evaluation of the technique of the player, I would hesitate to think that a replay official would pick a flag up in this situation.
Seeing that's not what
it's so easy to defend, right? You can so easily go to the coaches, anyone who's involved with the rules, and say, you know what, this is not what we want in the game.
That's diametrically opposite of what we just said.
I know.
That's how hard this is.
I like to think this would be picked up. You don't think so?
By
replay?
Yeah.
No, not considering the degree of this dude. His crown is down. He buried the crown in the neck of the player receiving the hit. The player receiving the hit, his head snapped backwards. This is an extremely dangerous collision, specifically for number 24. I think that it'll be really easy to defend leaving a flag on the ground.
Just almost going with the indicator. Like, see, and that's not the process, though.
I think that's
the rule.
It's not.
DY
doesn't like that. Okay.
Maybe
I just don't know if that you really think that, or if that's your own bias. We're in the Superdome circa 2000 whatever.
Here we go again with this.
And you've already decided you didn't like this, and you're just leaving it down because you don't like it. Because I think if we have a handle on what the indicators are, it's just this is clearly not there as an indicator. As ugly and
you're that strong that is not an indicator. I got you. I thought you were like really close to undecisive whether
No. I'm
You're pretty strong
very
that it's
strong
not.
that this is not an indicator. It could become an indicator with an eyelash and movement. So it's not like
You
it's
just
super
don't
far
see-
away.
You
eyelash
just
is
don't
pretty
see
thin.
the attacking mechanism.
Yeah,
Okay. Eyelash is pretty
24.
thin. All right, no.
it is.
Let me pluck an
There-
eyelash and take a measurement of
You
it.
don't
It's
have
pretty
to pluck
thin.
an eyelash. Like, wow, I mean, you might need those for
Yeah,
something.
but there's a difference between being close and then being like parts of it are right. Like, so it's
No, I know what
very
you mean.
close
I
to
mean-
that line, but it's not one that's for me. Excuse me, like back and forth kind of. Oh, I see elements. To me, this is decidedly not an indicator.
Right.
I would want a replay official to be able to make that determination too.
Got it.
Okay. Well, we don't get to the result very much, but I'll tell you what, it was called, and the replay official picked it up.
Wow.
Look at
Good
that.
for them. Now
Yeah.
I'm really happy that the replay official did pick it up, although I'm comfortable with the flag staying down.
Yeah, no, I hear
The
you.
reason I'm happy is because they actually went through a process.
I think you're right. And it's fun to see that. I mean, it's fun to see
Yes.
that because
Yeah, that's encouraging, isn't it?
this is violent. This is not safe. Really isn't safe. So I don't know. I don't know if we need to adjust anything. Of course, you never want to do that off of one play, and I don't think
No.
it's really looking at this play. But anyways, it's definitely not a safe technique. I think this is probably just more in the coaching realm. Like,
Right.
let's not do this. Like, we can't do
Right.
this, dude. Like, come on. So
Don't do
I'm
that.
glad number 24 is safe.
Yeah, for now.
He's lucky in multiple fronts. He's lucky Tuta wasn't his replay official because he's
I
gone.
didn't say no timeout. I did not say if I was the replay official, I would
No, you said you could
leave
see
it down
why.
or pick it up. I gave examples of how I could understand.
Okay.
But I
Okay,
love
I
that the replay official
Yeah.
displayed productive struggle by evaluating.
Ooh, dang. You know what? So I was gonna adjust my scoreboard because I thought you had a good night. Honestly,
Oh,
I thought you had a
good
good
night.
night.
Yeah, he was strong.
So I was.
But that's just average.
But then-
That was just
but
my
then-
average.
but then this play happened, and and you know, like
I
you know,
feel all
when like
kinds
a
of
golfer, when a golfer has that one hole, that you kind of had. I mean, this play
No.
was not your strongest hole.
No.
Whereas DY started slow and he came on strong at
worse.
the end.
Didn't start slow. Shut up.
He started slow. Let's be honest. I think it was a good night overall, though. I think it was a pretty good night.
And you know, I just continue to be amazed by the number of plays that are available to discuss these different concepts. It's
Well,
just
that's it.
amazing.
It really is infinite, and I know we cover a lot of the same stuff, right? I mean, how can you? I mean, there's only so many categories. There's only so many topics.
Right.
But goodness sakes, I mean, we're talking. Somebody picked out a blindside block that I didn't even see on a play that we put up. I mean, it's just always there. We got a spot. We got an OPI. We've got the ball. You know, oh my gosh, we got a mechanic of moving to the line to gain. Where we can discuss that for an hour.
Right.
We've got communication by officials. We got a referee starting an announcement because we didn't know that there was another flag down.
Right.
We've got this very hard targeting play.
Right.
We've got to learn the difference between succeeding spot and end of the run because it could apply. And that was one of your good holes in your golf round tonight. Where you
we also need to learn that it's okay to smack a player with a flag if they do
we
something.
don't need to smack players with flags.
We didn't
We don't
learn
need to
that.
smack-
Nobody
we don't-
learned that tonight.
No, let's not do that.
We didn't learn that.
And we all, I don't care what position we are, we just need to work. We just need to keep working on this stuff, especially the enforcement
I
stuff.
was
man.
going to say, especially enforcement.
Oh yeah, because you know, I mean, all of our goal needs to be 100% perfect on that stuff. Because we're not going to be 100% perfect on spots. I know they all say they want to be. You're not going to be.
No.
We're not going to be 100% perfect on holding or pass interference as a community. It's just not going to happen, right? I mean, it's just not going to happen. There's going to be plays that test us with our mechanics. We can't see it properly, the angles, or whatever. We were bad visually, so it's just not going to happen. But those enforcements that happen, we got to be 100%, and that's our knowledge. That's sharing that's sharing this knowledge and keep working on these plays with all these spots, right? To get all these reference points figured out.
Hey, Brandon, you'll love this relative to enforcement.
Yeah.
Remember you enforced a 4-yard
Yeah.
false start?
I've done that before.
I did that this weekend.
No way.
Absolutely.
You walked 4 yards on a false
Absolutely.
start?
Yeah, sure.
Did the line of scrimmage
It was
official did the line of scrimmage official just nod and say yes?
No, nope. They were at the right spot, and I looked, and I'm like, oh shoot, and I just quickly and surreptitiously go look that one up. Grab the ball and slid it 1 more yard.
You slid it?
Not slide. I mean,
Okay.
not literally slide, but I moved it 1 more yard.
Slide the ball.
Yeah. Another thing I learned too. So we had another 5-yard penalty, pre-snap foul penalty that I screwed up the enforcement on, and I'll tell you why. I ran up to the ball and picked it up facing the way away from the direction we would enforce the penalty, and it was 2 ticks. I turned around to mark the penalty off, and in my brain, I said, it's 2 ticks.
Okay.
Well, I went 2 ticks, and that was not enough. It was 2 ticks from the other direction.
That was the 4 yards.
Yeah. That's so easy to screw up. And I learned,
so
don't pick up the ball facing the wrong way, dummy.
It wasn't so easy to screw up, I don't think, in your opinion.
When I did it
5 days ago.
Oh, that's a good point.
I won't say that. I won't say that. I don't know why you're attacking me, but I don't agree.
So
with
that. Did you make eye contact with your headline judge?
Not on. You talking about on pre-snap 5-yard penalties? I say, well, I'm not making contact. We ain't doing all of this pointing stuff and all of that.
You might want to start.
Nope. I'm sorry. We all have to be able to enforce a simple 5-yard pre-snap penalty. Now, every other penalty, we're making eye contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you make eye contact before you set the ball down?
I should have.
Obviously not.
I did not. Correct. I did not, because I put it down at 4 yards.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club.
Absolutely. But I learned, don't pick the ball up facing the wrong way and say, oh, that's 2 ticks, and then turn around and go 2 ticks. Well, guess what? Your 2 ticks are not the same 2 ticks.
So like 33 to the 28. So you're saying 2 or what? No. What?
So let's say the ball. Let's say the ball was at the 27-yard line.
Okay.
As I'm running up, I'm passing the 25. We have
on
the offense. So I'm telling my brain as I'm running up, it's 2 ticks past the big line. Well, if you turn around and start going the opposite way, if you go 2 ticks past the big line, you're not in the right spot, because there's actually 3 ticks past the big line in that direction.
27 to the 32.
Come on, stick with me. You'll catch up.
27 to the 22.
Oh, we're going 27 to the 22.
Okay.
But I went 27 to the 23, for instance, because
of 2 ticks beyond the
2
25.
ticks past the big line. Correct.
Okay. Well, you might want to work on that process.
Oh, I got that. Oh yeah. I got it.
It's so brave of you to admit that.
I ain't brave. Shit. If anybody on this call thinks that they've never made a mistake before, I mean, come on.
But it was a lot funner when you hadn't done this and we continually revert back to when Brandon did it. So that's the problem.
Well, Brandon's just an idiot. So I had a reason for my screw up in my process, and
you mean an alibi, like an excuse?
No, I recognize it, and I
was facing the wrong way. What are you talking about?
That's not an excuse.
Way. That doesn't even. It's a bad excuse.
It's not an excuse. I screwed up.
It doesn't matter what you're facing.
No, it does matter, dummy. If you pass up and the ball is 2 ticks past the big line, and you turn around and run the other way, 2 ticks past the big line, you're not going to be in the right spot because your orientation is totally jacked up.
That. I don't know how you let this whole tick process govern your outcome.
Well, how do you do 5-yard penalty? How do you do a 5-yard pre-snap penalty? You actually
27 to the 22.
Oh, that's dumb. Oh, that's just ridiculous.
If I know I'm here you go. Listen to this, DY. If I know I'm 2 ticks from the 25, I know that's the 27. So I go to the 22, which is 2 Oh shoot.
It's 2 ticks.
I don't have time to do math, especially on those 15s. I'm not about to sit there and do math. I'm sorry.
50. Yeah.
No.
here's the thing though, and it's so true. Like if you watch yourself on those, you know how it feels like you're going in the moment. It feels like you're taking forever.
Right.
Like if you try to sit there and just analyze it for a second, and if you watch
Right.
yourself, there's literally no time that passes. It's
Right,
so
right, right.
weird.
Right.
You know, it's usually worth the deep breath.
Yeah.
It's usually worth the deep breath.
Good
So
advice tonight.
that was fun. Appreciate you guys as always. Appreciate everybody on.
Oh
and
yeah, we
those
gotta
that
appreciate
will-
the universe, man,
replay.
for joining us.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
yeah.
we'd be sitting here having to talk to each other. That's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not recommended.
Brutal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't stand talking to you guys anymore. But anyways, this was great. Let's do it again.
Yep. Next week, 191.
See you guys.
191. See you guys there.